PKN, episode 230. Kyle was about to tell us about his... normally I don't get too involved in video game talk. It's something that I just sort of wait for the other side of. Something about the Rust talk has me more engaged. I think it's it's not just like, hey, we played a 20-minute game last night. It's the fact that you're engaged in an ongoing campaign.
Yes, it's a war.
Well, and Kyle's like a natural storyteller with these games. Like, there will be games that I independently would have no interest in, and he'll be like, and there we were, 5 hours in, 60 meters outside a rival's base. I thought we were screwed, but Mitty had a plan. Just little things like that, and I'm sitting there like, oh, well, what was the plan? Like,
dude, we have... What is it? I think Conor McGregor has that little saying. Maybe he stole it from someone else. But he's like, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
So let me lead with this. Last time you put out a call on both PKN and PKA looking for a few good men. How did that go?
I got a couple of good, hard-working fellas. My gain is high.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you had to cut any slaves for laziness or ineptitude?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I think so.
Now.
You're maybe a touch in between.
Okay. Yeah. I saw some people be like, who would want to be a slave? I can't believe. And then like dozens of people like, me. I want to be a slave, because the slave it's like you're being initiated into a gang, right? Like before we patch you in, you got to put in some dirty work first, you know? And the fruits of your labor will be there waiting for you once you get patched into the club, you know? Like, we're not just blowing your resources willy-nilly. We're saving them up. Yeah, once we patch you in, once you get your tattoo and everything, we're all tatted up now, and so yeah, we've been playing on this server.
This is just make him collect sulfur for like 10 hours, and then you all get naked and molest him, and then he's part of the team.
Exactly, that's exactly how it goes. I got this guy named
rules.
They were already naked, Taylor.
Larry will appreciate the shout out, I'm sure. He says that we're his favorite podcast, and he can relate to us. Larry the Strong, which and I like Larry. He's got a good personality. He's kind of a funny guy. You'll have a normal conversation with him. He's clearly a grown man, 25 to 35, something like that. Nice. And he'll agree to whatever we're talking about, and he'll go to leave to do whatever we've asked him to do, and he'll go as he's running away, like in game chat, like, and I'm just like, did he just make like a Slurpee noise? And Mitty's like, I think that was him. And
he's had
was it you? And I'm like,
does that every time?
Every time he like runs away in game chat, you talk. It's a push to talk in the game. Now we're in Discord with him, and I don't hear it quite as much. But so we've taken over this a big section of this server. We through our hard work and our combined efforts, we got to C4 plastic explosive, which allows us to blow into people's bases very quickly. And
this is the same universe or same server you were doing last
No,
week, right?
no, we're in a whole new server now. And we're going to switch to a whole new server on Thursday when the wipe happens. The wipe is when they clean the board. They take all the pieces off the board, and it's time to start again. So everyone in there is going to be naked, completely naked, rock and torch. And I like to start from a fresh wipe because I have the resources of my friends and colleagues and their knowledge to really get me ahead. I feel like we've got a big advantage over someone who's playing by themselves, because there's 5, 6, 7, 8 of us working hard, coordinated, and getting stuff done. And so that's happening Thursday. But yeah, for now, we've taken over our quadrant of the map, a large section of the map. We are feared far and wide, and we are revered far and wide as well. Like, you'll
what's
see
your
in the
name?
chat.
What's your clan name or team?
We didn't go that. That's I mean,
if there is an ability to name it, please go with Really Sweet Kids or something like that.
That we did.
Okay.
I take it back. There is a lot of Really Sweet Kid like spray painted around and stuff like that. I do see that on a lot of our bases. We've got so many bases now. Like, it's not that we have one base. I have 5 bases at this point that are kind of mine or Middy's, and 2 of them are trap bases. And what a trap base is, it's a lure. The doors are left open. There might even be an enticing sign painted out front that says, "Left the server, enjoy," something like that. And you walk up, and the trap is completely invisible. Even the most cautious of victim can't see it. It's literally invisible. It's hidden beneath the floorboards. But you walk in, it explodes, you fall into a pit, you're dead instantly, and we hear it go off. So we just come over, and I'm like, another rat in the trap. Let me go clear it out and reset. And you go down to the pit, you take all of his things, put it in a box, reset the trap, and just leave again. And just rinse and repeat all day long. But we've also been raiding people. So like taking however much plastic explosive it takes to get in their base, you can kind of examine a base and determine exactly how many it'll take, and just blowing the shit out of their base, going in, stealing all their things, taking them back to base, and rinsing and repeating. We took 7 or 8 bases yesterday. Pretty much every neighbor we had. At this point, we got to travel pretty far to find someone to kill. But then at the same time, I'm very nice to all the naked kids. Like you'll see him in the chat. Kyle is the nicest man on the face of the earth. That was something someone wrote today because I gave him a bunch of free shit because I got so much shit. We started out organized. We had like the walls lined with shelves, with crates on the shelves. At this point, we just got boxes on the floor. The floor is just boxes. There's just boxes everywhere full of shit. We have duplicates of everything there is to have in the game. There's no. Now we're not afraid of losing our things when we go out and fight because that's a real fear early on. If you've got one gun, if we have one gun and you go out and lose that one gun, it's like, shit, now we're back to bows. But at this point, we've just got infinite ammo, essentially, and infinite guns, and the ability to make infinite guns. And
so are the real sweet kids right now, like it's already slotted probably, like, all right, as soon as that wipe happens, we're all hopping on exactly then because we need to get a leg up on everybody immediately.
Essentially, yeah. That we've told everyone that. We haven't picked out the exact server yet, but we're already planning like what the base is going to look like, how it's going to be designed. And I'm still recruiting players. I still have to go through a bunch of the Steam messages I have because I have several hundred of them.
Are you switching to a bigger, or no, 6 is as large as it gets, right?
Currently, we're playing in a duo server, so it's teams of 2. And so we don't team up together as like a big squad of 8 and go after duos, but we do have a community, like a neighborhood watch established. So if someone comes and they try to pick on me, well, my neighbor's of course going to come outside and gun that person down. It's not that we're on a team. It's just that we have friendly neighbors. I have friendly neighbors that I've never met before. There's a guy that lives next to us named Noise, Noice. Noise. He said, "Oh, I'm Noise," and I'm Noise, and I'm like, okay, good, nice to meet you, Noise. And if he hears gunshots, he comes out and kills the people.
Are any of the neighborhood watch members a little too,
cruel,
too aggressive? Any George Zimmermans on your hands?
I absolutely have some George Zimmermans on my hands, but I don't mind it because you never know when that naked guy is just scouting you out. He needs to know that he'll get put in his place if he comes back around there. Last night Mitty and I got into a gunfight with some people, and he's sniping, and I'm rushing with an MP5, and they kill me, and they take my MP5, and we're like, no way. I have 4 MP5s, but I like that one. So we chase them back to their base, and they go in and they hide in their little base. And I'm outside, and I'm like, you can literally knock on the door in this game, and it goes, duck, 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 duck. And I'm like, duck, 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 duck. I want my MP5 back. We could do this the easy way. You can just come out naked with nothing but the MP5. I won't kill you. I'll take the MP5. You'll lose nothing, and we'll be on our way. Or I can send my friend back to base, and we'll come back with enough boom boom to make this thing a hovel. And dead silence. Nothing. I'm like, all right, Mitty, go get it. Mitty runs back to base. He comes back with a bunch of C4, and we're dook, 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 dook. 1 door blown off. Dook, 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 dook. 2 doors blown off. Then his buddy comes out of nowhere and kills Mitty from behind us. So I gun that fucking guy down, and I sneak around. The guy jumps out of the base. I gun him down, but you respawn kind of fast. So they just keep coming. Mm-hmm. So by the time it's all said and done, I've killed 7 of them. Mitty's killed 3 of them. And we've just got a pile of loot there. And every time they come back to us, they're less and less geared because you only have so much gear. Mm-hmm. At first, you see a guy, he's got an AK-47 and full plate armor, and he looks like a fucking something out of Mad Max, right? Like one of the head villains of Mad Max. Yeah. He's the gun guy or whatever, like double machine guns or something. By the end, they're coming at you with bows and they're naked, and it's just fun to just gun them down. But we blew their base till there was nothing left, and he's complaining in the chat that we're bullying him, and I'm just like, he's like, you camped my base. I was like, what base? That smoldering pile of rubble over there.
Is camping a base considered bad?
Some people think it is. Some people think it's poor etiquette to like camp at their door and wait for him to come out of the door. And I suppose it is. We certainly hate it. But the way to get around that is to have roof access on your base. So if someone's camping your door, you go up some stairs or up a ladder, shoot off your roof and kill them. And even if they hit you, your guns and loot stay on your roof, so they can't they can acquire them and steal them from you.
But what you do is very difficult as an admin to police. Like I've been on the like the admin side of this a lot. We would call it sister factions. And where two people that just don't constantly war ends and where sister factions begins is a gray line. It really seems like Kyle has much more power than is it a 6-person?
I am the most powerful person in the server.
Right, yeah.
Because
but he has much more than he should. If he just had him and his 5 friends, he'd be this powerful. But he has him and his 5 friends and a dozen friendly what are they called? Gangs, groups?
I don't know,
Clans.
teams.
Clans, teams.
You know,
All right,
so
yeah. So he has, he's the leader of 6 teams on this thing. And as an admin, you're like, well, what, they have to fight all the time? Like, where does sister faction begin?
Oh,
and
we've
just,
had,
you know,
I can talk about it now because they're about to wipe, but we've had long talks with the admins. Like, we'll be in private chats with them while the other player is accusing us of literally cheating. And he's appeasing them in the all chat, but privately to us, he's like, this guy's such a whiny little bitch. My kid's sitting on my lap right now, laughing his ass off at how salty these guys are. And I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, I just lost some video game guns. What's the big deal? And he's like, yeah, these guys are fucking bitches. And this is the admin talking to us
Is this the
privately.
same incident, or has this happened again?
This has happened several times at this point. Like, we're constantly in private chats with the admins because we're constantly getting called out.
Are the
Oftentimes,
admins ever like coming down against you? Like, okay, come on, you can't do that. Or,
no,
We're often
never.
getting called out, and at least 1 or even 2 of those times, it was unwarranted.
It absolutely was unwarranted. Like there was a time yesterday
just
where
bullying people. That's so funny. I love it.
a couple days ago, like, it was just me and Mitty. It was just us, just 2 of us, and we're in our squad together. And we hear gunfire over the hill. We go over the hill. There's 2 guys picking on this one fella in his house. They've killed him and taken his goddamn bow and arrow away. And we're like, nah, we'll end this. And so I sort of hold them down. Mitty rushes in. He kills them both, and they start complaining that we're teaming with this guy, this stranger that we have. The guy was Polish. He barely spoke English, and they're saying that this is our like buddy and that we know him. And then the guy calls me an FPS Russia fanboy, and I'm like, it's I'm not trying to flex on you or anything, but it's me, you know, it's me. And like by the end of it, he's like, I better hear about this on PKA or I'm not going to believe it. So yeah, dude, yeah. You guys were being
You
bitches.
won't see this
We weren't
one.
teaming you. We weren't teaming you. We weren't teaming you. It were just 2 of us. And only one of us killed both of you. Little Mitt. You got killed by Little Mitt. 2v1.
Lil Mitt.
I know
It's like
that
a rapper.
I made the Minecraft comparison 1,000 times, but one of the interesting things about these like long games, the weeks and stuff, is it's partly gun skill, but a lot of it is about charisma. Some of it is about leadership skills. You know, you have a 6-man faction, but pretend you quadruple that. Now you've got a 24-man gang team, the 24-man team. You need to keep the other 23 of them so happy that they don't betray you. And that's an interesting aspect of the game. And if you were to add live streaming to it, you know, you're going to get people that are a little less trusted, and they need to earn their way perhaps to the chest room or
For sure.
You know, it's interesting to like. There's a charisma, a management, a leadership aspect of this game. It's not like COD domination where it's 90% aiming.
My friends have like in the new base there will be a base where like me and the people I've known for a long time can come and go freely, but there will also be a slave quarters where some of the people we don't know so well, they can stay there and they'll have their own little base where they can keep their own
Slave
personal
quarters.
goods. Yeah, slave quarters, you know. And you know, if we're going out raiding, I'm certainly going to give you a good fucking gun. I'm not going to send you in with a bow and arrow. Like everybody gets a gun, everybody gets armor, everybody gets food. You know, but I'm Negan at this point.
Yeah,
I was
you
gonna
talked
say that.
before
That's what
about
you want to be.
you needed a guy with PvP skills, player versus player. If you guys aren't gamers,
Yeah.
probably everybody is on this call, not in this listener base. But being a slayer, like again in the COD thing, that's a huge, huge part. Being able to kill other people in Rust, well, that's just one cog in the machine.
Yeah, I mean it's a big cog, honestly.
It is,
Because it can overlap a lot of the others. Like you don't need to go farming if you're killing people who are loaded. You know, if you kill farmers, you don't need to be a farmer. If we were, and we've spent a lot of time practicing our gun skill. There are servers you can go in that are you just fight. It's you respawn instantly with guns. You basically play like TDM, but in the Rust world, just like Woodycraft, how you would go into all those portals into like there's like an interface with a lot of portals, and you're like, this world, that world, this world, that world, just like that, identical. And you hop into TDM or you hop into free for all and just go. And we play that for a few hours, just learning the guns, because gunplay is really hard in Rust. It's very hard.
Yeah,
It's
and
a lot of
those
recoil.
game modes you're talking about gave you a chance to get like a month's worth of experience today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, again, if someone wants to play Rust, message me or whatever. Send me a message with like a resume instead of a friend request, because then I have to like go to your profile. That's what I prefer.
If you don't have a well-structured APA format CV with how successful you are at different video games with clips linked, conveniently hyperlinked there in the doc, then you don't get to play.
If you have
don't get
less
to
than
hang out in
1,000 hours
Kyle's
experience,
slave quarters.
I expect it to fit on one page. Otherwise, 2 pages, no more.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the deal. I would prefer a message with your resume and hours, really. If I just knew how many hours you got and like what kind of rating experience you have or building experience you have or like what you do, like and your age, that's all I really need.
Your age.
Yeah. I don't like playing with children. Unlike Wings, who plays with those underage girls and stuff. I just think that's a bad look. And also
So
I
if
like
they
to
say
play.
under 18, you just say, "Nah, sorry."
Nah, yeah, you never know what kind of complications you could get into with that. And plus, like, I feel like a grown adult man is going to be less likely to like get pissy and like get mad at some like slight in the game. Like, although we've got guys that'll get fucking rage quit and get pissy over like the smallest thing already, and they'll just get offline. And I'm like, all right, bye, fucking leave.
Because they get stressed. They're spending all day getting sulfur for Negan. And then they have to go back to some shit tier cot that probably smells like sulfur because they haven't earned their privileges yet.
My house smells like farts because all I do is mine sulfur for Kyle. I've been eating corn on the cob raw all day, every day. Yeah, yeah, it's a hard life, but no, it's I mean, Larry seems to enjoy it, and like at this point, Larry's much higher on the server than the average solo for sure. Like Larry's got all the fruits of my labor and his labor and everybody's labor, and it's not like I'm sitting on a tuffet somewhere not mining. Like I go out with the chainsaw and bring back 10,000 wood. I go with the jackhammer, bring back 10,000 stone. I'm doing my work. I've built all those bases. We're everybody contributes.
Yeah,
Like,
you're only
just
6
sitting
people.
on my tuffet.
You can't literally.
Well, and
just
again,
do
we're
nothing.
duos. Like it's teams of 2.
Oh, I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just
teams of
coordinated.
2. There's just multiple teams of 2.
You
like,
are
living
sister
near one another.
factioning so bad.
Yeah. Well, the admins are so the admins are perfectly fine with non. You don't have to kill on site, and you can have sort of like non-aggression pacts.
Uh-huh.
You just can't roam together. Roaming is when you like go out like hunting for people and just running around the map in a squad with guns looking to kill, and you like 4v1 a guy. Like we don't do that. We really don't do that. But we what we will do is you hear gunshots, you go outside. And we would do that whether we knew the people or not. You want to take advantage of the situation.
The parallels continue to exist. It's really hard on the admin side to really figure out where to draw that line. And then when you draw it, to draw it in the same spot twice, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So
it's impossible. I mean,
yeah.
they haven't. I'll say this: we don't complain at all. But I constantly, and it's
Like you're winning.
Yeah, I know.
We
John
don't always
Jones
win.
never fusses at steroid users.
we've had some
Yeah,
real
it's like the
fucking
Walton family or Jeff Bezos being like, not once have I bitched and moaned at these mom and pop stores who steal single-digit percentages of my potential revenue.
Not
once.
percentages, no. Just single digits.
Single
No,
digit
like
dollar
like
amounts. Yeah.
Upwards of $6.
sometimes like we had, I won't even say their names, but there was this scumbag motherfucker. I've never been so mad at somebody in a video game, but I don't show it, of course. I just kind of chuckle.
they
I'm like,
want.
all right, man, whatever you want to do. But in real life, I'm like,
Furious.
I need Wings of Redemption on this guy. I need this guy getting fucking pistol whipped and doxed and
There's a mag light involved here somewhere.
they just like first of all, it's a child. He's like 9. And,
That does not make them innocent.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
he's
no.
cursing like a sailor.
Children are very much worthy of our wrath.
He's like camping outside her base, and there's 2 of them, and he's just like eating her corn. He's like, "Oh, delicious corn! I eat all your corn. Oh, thanks for the corn, fucking faggot! Thanks for your corn, you fucking faggot! Come out, feed me another gun. Come out, feed me another gun." And I'm like,
So I guess you got a kill off you guys, and you
yeah, you
took your
killed
gun.
Mitty and
This
took
kid's
Mitty's
hilarious already.
Come out, fucking feed me another gun. You're fucking garbage at this game, you bitch. You
probably
faggot.
don't even need it because
and
you're
you
a
can-
faggot, as I've established.
You can hear him
Put it
eating
in
the
your
corn. You can hear him eating our corn. Quong, 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 quong. He's eating it out there. And I'm just like, I've planted that corn all day. I planted that corn and I was specific in rows, and this little bitch is out there eating it. And like he would door camp us. He'd just be outside waiting. And when you open a door, it's loud as fuck, but he's crouch walking with a really good gun and full armor and full health. And you just got to quit the game at that point. Like, all right, well, we can't play tonight. Just got to log out. Like, there's no way to
Can you
deal with
log
it.
back in and then you appear somewhere else on the map?
I could if I wanted to, but I'd be without my things. Or I could spawn at one of my other bases, but I still got to deal with this kid. You know, he's still right there in our area, like hunting us down essentially, and there's nothing we can really do about it. And so there's been a couple instances.
Was it frustrating having a child call you a homo and you couldn't do anything about it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really, really made me the angriest I've ever been at a person in a video game in my life. Like, we were in a server a while back, and I didn't join. All the servers have their own Discords, and someone joined the Discord of that server just to see what the player base was like in private, you know, because they're talking to one another. The admins are in there. I guess there weren't any admins in this one because they told me that these players were conspiring against another player. They were saying, I'm going to get his IP address and download child porn on it. And I'm like, well, we don't want to play on this server. Let's go somewhere a little more casual, because
You can have the corn.
You
Like,
can have
By the way,
I
that
don't-
outside the game attack thing is one of the reasons I ended Woodycraft. It was really hard to maintain. I had staff quit. They're attacking my staff's parents. I'm buying them like credit protection systems. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. You know, like, if it means anything to you, I've been doxxed for years. It's okay.
yeah. You can't imagine, Taylor, just how serious these people take the game. And look, I'm taking it kind of seriously and it's because of the time we have invested. That's what it's all about. It's not that like I'm obsessed with this. Like in Call of Duty, when you die, it's 10 minutes, and this when you die, you might lose 10 hours worth of work or that have been acquired. You know, you can get very angry, but if somebody's cool about it when they kill you, I'm fine with it. And I'm always cool about it when I kill someone.
What makes it cool? What do you mean?
You just say good game, you know, nice try, nice shot. I'm going to leave your pants. You know, if you want to come back and get your pants or your sweater, they're still on your body. You know, I'm just taking your gun and your ammo. Like, that's how I play the game, and I really appreciate when others do the same. We were raiding a base yesterday, and that was very close to our own, and I'm fully kitted. I've got the best of literally everything that exists in the game on me, and I'm not really paying attention.
AK-47?
Yeah, I got an AK. I got full plate armor. I've got the best of everything.
We've played armored. Like, do you mean you're walking around like a knight?
I have
I
my
picture
mask
like a Ben Franklin stove. He's walking around there.
kind of like one of the higher end armor.
Hand shot.
Exactly. Dude, you joke.
Yes.
The highest level of armor, which is really only if you're like in your base and they're coming after you because you can't move and you can't aim down sights and you have a slit to look through, it's literally a pan on your head and the handle is sticking out the back. But I have a tier below that so that you're mobile and still a good gunfighter and everything. And I look up and there's a naked guy with a double barrel 12 gauge right there, and he's just waiting on me, and he goes boom boom and puts both barrels into me, and I snap onto him, put 6 bullets in him and kill him, and he's just, you're only at 10 health? You have 10 health left? How's that possible? And I go, yeah, fuck you, bitch. And I run in my base and I hide and I start sticking syringes in my heart so that I don't actually die. And then he's like, good game, man. I'm like, sorry I called you a bitch. I was just a little amped up. Do you want your things back? And he's like, yeah, man, that'd be real cool. That's all I had in the world. And I was like, all right, I'll be out in a minute. And I'll tell you what, we just raided that base. You can have anything we don't take. And so, you know, I made a friend with that guy. You know, there was no reason to be toxic to that guy and like rub it in his face that like I owned him or whatever. Because it's probably an unfair advantage I had in that I had that armer and an AK-47.
If he had the jump on you, then yeah, it's because you were
he did
better
have
loaded.
the jump on me. If he shot me in the head, he'd have won. I will say that he just, you know, he hit me in the body, I guess, or in the legs or something like that. But you know, I was like, yeah, come with us, man. We go up to this base, we blow the last door off of it, we take the best of the best things, and we leave all of the rest for him. And for him, it was a fucking treasure trove. You know,
all the
I like
bows he
doing
could
that. I like
want.
being generous.
No, I'm glad. It's
Being
still going.
generous
I'm shocked
is an
that you're
essential
still
part
into
of
it.
maintaining your leadership. If you hoard it all for yourself, then you'll have an uprising. But if you make friends out there, then your teams just grow and grow and grow until you've got dozens of two-man teams all worshiping Negan, Kyle. All
That's
worshiping
like
Kyle.
literally the Negan approach. It's going to go well. Like
Yeah,
you're going
that's
to be the kingpin or chieftain or whatever title you give yourself on the next server, and you should put up like political rally messages spray painted on your forts, where it's like, I don't know, something that rhymes about how if you come across OFPS Kylo, there's no reason to fear. that you're here to help. You're here to create a bet. What's the name of the world there? Like something silly, like.
there's actually not a world. There's a theory that it's off the coast of Uruguay, but like no one really knows. There's a weird, convoluted backstory that you have to piece together through context clues. It doesn't matter.
You could make instructions that if people pay fealty, then you offer protection, and they can even join your conscription process. You could really become king.
I feel like I'm really good at the social side of the game. Like I always make friends really quickly, and I'm often able to beg my way out of compromising situations. If I'm naked and they're looted, I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? I'm naked. You can have my corn seeds if you want them, but I appreciate if you didn't kill me. I live up here. Where do you live? I can usually work my way out of those situations. But yeah, but just by being me, I guess, and being here and like drawing players in, I'm always going to have that advantage. I feel like of having a really big team of hardworking individuals. And, there's no hoarding. Middies are as close to a hoarder as we have. I noticed that we only have one like M16 assault rifle to our name. He carries it. He carries it. I don't complain.
Is that gun better than the AR-47? AK-47?
I think it's debatable.
Okay.
I think it's debatable. It has less recoil, probably slightly less damage. The AK is a really skillful gun to use. It has this recoil pattern that's like an S that goes up. And so you have to pull down and to the left with your mouse for like 5 or 6 shots, and then down and to the right for 2 for like an 8-round burst. But if you want to do a 30-round burst, you have to literally be pulling down and doing like this very perfect
It's not
zigzag.
random. It's that predictable that you can learn it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle and I have been playing Vermintide 2, and we beat it. I opened it up so that other people could join us, and they were worse than us. And I'm just like, what? I thought we were bad. We have like 15 hours in this game. How are you worse than we are? Until eventually one elf came, and she was maxed out her level, which appears to be 30. She didn't play as a team, which is important. You have to pick each other up or whatever. She just ran out there and slayed. She didn't wait for us to keep up with her. I'm like, Colin, keep up with her. Keep up with her. And he's like, that other guy's down. He'll respawn. Stick with the elf. Stick with the elf. And I didn't think she played well. I think she just, by virtue of her level, could just do anything. Every time she hit something, it died, whereas someone else might take 6 or 7 hits in 3 blocks.
That's when you feel like a king, like in Borderlands, like, and you have to run to a mission that, like, but it's through like a pathway that you just skipped earlier in the game, and you're like level 48, and everybody's level 16, and you can just run through and just punch and kick all the big creatures to death in one hit. That was such a fun part of Borderlands. But
we had reached the end of this level, and there's 2 boss characters. It's hard to beat both of them, and like the goal is to get to the end of the level perfect. You want full health with the health potion and a strength potion and a cannonball and full ammo. And if you enter it, great. Well, we've never won, but we've come close to winning. If we enter it like limping into that final battle, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, you're toast. And the final battle comes along. Right out of the gate, the big monster charges me. I need to use my health potion in the first 5 seconds. We're fucked, right? We never... to list out how this thing goes, when Colin and I play, I'll get like 460 kills. Colin will get like 220 kills. And then each of the AI get like 40. And like, you guys, we're pretty much 2-man game.
Yeah.
So when I go down early, like, it's not going to go well. Well, anyway, this elf didn't even seem to do anything smart. She just walked up to the boss character and hack and slashed it until it died, and we won. So
was it a rewarding win, or was it
very rewarding. As a matter of fact, after you kill it, you have to escape, and I'm on death's door. One guy manages to hit me from behind, and my character dies. Just I was one shot away from death, and I get on the push to talk. I'm like, save the dwarf, make sure the dwarf makes it to the end. And it turned out my character, there was the respawn mechanic is that they kind of unties you. No, Colin is the dwarf. I don't care about me. The point is that Colin wins this thing. That's what all this is about. And but it turned out along the way they untied me, and we both
It's so funny. You're like the real Boromir in Lord of the Rings, where you're like, they stop to pick you up. You're like, no, save the halflings.
Yeah, and because she was running out ahead, like she wasn't being a team player at all. We were just hanging with her as much as we could, and I'm like, circle back, get the dwarf, make sure he makes it. And she really
are there dragon ogres in there? Is Kolek the Sun Eater one of your enemies?
He
no,
must
not
be
yet.
the final enemy.
There's 2 more DLCs we can buy, so maybe I'll find him.
Do you remember the names of any of the bad guys you've played?
Do you fight any of the lizard people?
No, they're
Perhaps
mostly
Krok-Gar.
No, but you have me curious about these now. We've been fighting rat people, and what seemed to be like Skaven. We fight Skavens for sure. Yeah, there's a whole half of my armor is 10% extra damage against Skaven and things like that. But yeah, we won yesterday, and Colin's still talking about it. So,
yeah, man.
Awesome.
There's so many factions in that game. There's so many weird beasts and monsters and creatures.
Such a cool universe. I don't know anything about it other than playing those games, those top-down Warhammer games, because I didn't even put the pieces together that's the same universe of the painted figurines. I don't even know how to play that game, but when you go into game stores and they'll have a pool table size thing with dungeons and mountains and shit, and all those little things.
Yeah, Warhammer.
That's apparently the same universe as this. So
I watched the YouTube videos that there's this YouTuber. It might be Milk and Cookies for the Win. I don't know, but it's one of the Total War Warhammer 2 YouTubers, and he's doing RTS videos, but he'll present it like a story. He'll be like, since time and memoriam, Krok-Gar of the lizard people has reigned supreme. All his foes have been felled before him, from the gardens of Narnia to the high cliff of Hrothgar, until the day he met Kolek the Sun Eater, a god among dragon ogres. On the plains of Kakaka, they face each other, and today only one will reign supreme. And then he shows the army breakdowns between Krok-Gar and Kolek, and you get to see who's fighting, and then you watch them fight with cinematic shots and stuff. It's really fun.
The most fun kind of game to watch for me. I
like it.
Sometimes they'll break down the strategy and the tactics of it and be like, see here, you can tell he's sending in those skink skirmishers because he's trying to pull away these whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But even just as entertaining is when he's just making shit up, where he's just and Captain the Turtle Man runs forward with his Dianese riding lizard or whatever the fuck, all that shit. I love it. It's so Lord of the Ringsy. I wish I should get back into that game.
I like that game a lot.
Warhammer?
It's fucking fun.
Total Warhammer 2, yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys want to play Vermintide, we'd always be down.
Yeah,
you can play with Colin.
It's those are fun games. It's an interesting universe.
Vermintide.
Say that again.
Speaking of something, I'll have to look up more about Vermintide. I watched that video, I guess last PKM when you were talking about it, but I didn't go back and watch more. But that's the same universe. So it's
Left 4 Dead-y. The key difference between Left 4 Dead and Vermintide to me is there's a little more swordplay, a little less guns, and the characters improve. In Left 4 Dead, as you work your way through the harder skill levels, it's all about getting better. In this game, it's about getting better weapons and as well as getting skilled yourself.
Is there any magic? Any of the characters have magic?
Yeah. All the characters have magic.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
What races can you choose to be?
There seem to be 2 kinds of humans:
the
a
Empire.
dwarf, an elf, and there's another person whose hair is constantly on fire and has a torch, and they just kind of throw fireballs at people all the time. I don't know what fireheads.
Yeah. Sounds like probably the Empire and
Bretonia or something.
Bretonia, yeah, probably the Empire, Bretonia, the dwarves, the high elves, and and I'm having a hard time placing the other one you described. But yeah, there's a ton of factions in there, both good and evil, and it's fun to match them up against one another and see how the shit plays out. And they've added a few more. They added pirate vampires recently.
Really? Damn it! I gotta hop back on.
They have crab monsters.
Okay, I'm gonna hop on tonight then and look at the crab monsters.
You guys, this universe is so much bigger. I want to buy the DLC and see what's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should.
there's a ton of
Especially
shit
you and
in
Colin
there.
are having such a blast.
I don't know why I'm so cheap, but it does enter my head that everything costs double, right? Because I don't play any games by myself. If you see a $60 game, that's $120. You know, $19 DLC, well, that's $40.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it definitely is. I've been very careful not to get into the microtransactions of Rust too heavily because you can buy skins for the guns in game.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. When you left the guy's pants and sweater, was that just normal stuff, or is it
The mid tier. The thing about like when I say pants, that I know that's sort of
I picture jeans.
yeah, they are jeans. Yeah, but there's a couple of different kinds of like bottom wear, and pants are the best because you can wear armor over the pants and you can stack their protections. And a hoodie is the best top thing to wear because you can stack armor on top of it. So a hoodie and pants is something that you blueprint right away so that you yourself can craft them later on. But a low tier player who's not established in the world, he finds a pair of pants and he holds on to them. And he's like, these are my pants, my only pair of pants. And meanwhile, I got a chest of pants, you know? And but yeah, you can buy skins online. I think the way it works, I could be wrong, is that Rust, which is made by a company called Face Punch, every week Face Punch puts out like 8 new skins, and they're for different things. It might be like 2 gun skins, an armor skin, a hammer skin, just like random shit. And they're only available for 1 week and then never again. And so they create a marketplace by doing that because everyone who buys it now has one out there and they can sell it privately. So I go on the private market and I buy the cheap shit just so my gun isn't like black or rusty. You know, now it's chrome or it's green and it costs me like $1 or something like that. And I can make all of my teammates' guns the same color. I can make all my teammates' armor the same color, so we kind of have a uniform. I saw this, Taylor, and I don't know what to make of it. Is this... So Donald Trump had Clemson, who I guess are the
Clemson Tigers beat Alabama. You must be happy about that. Anybody beating Alabama is probably a feather in your cap.
I didn't even know they beat them.
I was pretty happy. Yeah, I was. So the ACC's won 3 out of the last 6 championships, and my teams are ACC, and it's nice. SEC, in 10 seconds, SEC teams are typically regarded as the best in college football, and they play each other a lot, of course. And it creates this thing where, like, if you beat one of the other SEC teams, you must be really great. And if you lose to one of the SEC teams, well, that's okay, you know, because they're so good. They're in the SEC. And it's like, well, how does anyone else ever get credibility if beating them gets you credibility and losing to them doesn't get you credibility? It's like they just like cornered the market on rankings and prestige and stuff. So the fact that the ACC has fucked up the rest of the planet half the time for the last 6 years, that's right, half the time.
The rest of the planet.
Hey, it's my story. I'll tell it like I want to.
America.
Of all the college football teams across the multiverse, the ACC has been the best.
So Donald Trump had Clemson. Yeah. So Donald Trump had Clemson come to the White House, and
this is the funniest. I was like, when I saw this picture last night before I went to dinner, I was laughing my ass off. Like, this is so fucking funny that he bought like hundreds of burgers from McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Domino's, and another one or two or something. And I saw like, I don't remember what the clip was, but some like a reporter's asking like, I don't see any Hardee's or Carl's Jr. or whatever. He's like, no, that the company's based out of Canada. Only American.
Oh, good reply.
Yeah.
I saw
and they tried to like get him to like narrow down something. Or like, which of these is your favorite, President Trump? Which of these is your favorite?
That's illegal.
And I almost feel like you can. I know they were like trying to bait him into doing something. You know, go figure. Because I always they want to fuck with him. And he's like, I know in his head he's like, just don't say Big Mac. Don't say Big Mac. But he's like, they're all great. They're all wonderful American companies. I love them all. And then he's like, we've got hundreds of burgers here, lots of pizza, and many, many French fries. Many, many French fries. Quote from our president. So fucking funny. Like, and like all the time, I didn't understand why people were hating on this because this is hilarious. Like, this is the best memory you could make as a championship team coming to the White House. Like, this is unique. If you're a kid that goes to Clemson, you're going to have way more fun telling this story of like, yeah, and I went and the president bought us fucking Wendy's and Big Macs and
I
pizza,
saw this
as opposed to like we had broiled chicken, fancily on whatever.
I saw this picture juxtaposed across like a really fancy high-end White House dinner, and the chandeliers, it's dimly lit, and everything looks 5-star. And they're like, when the taxpayers pay for it versus when the politicians pay for it themselves, and it's all like Big Macs and stuff. But I'm with Taylor. Look, the government shut down right now. They probably don't have the same cooking crew that they normally do, so he made it work. And I didn't see any players complaining. Look, there are legitimate reasons to worry about Comrade Trump, and this is not one of them.
Though, all of that food was cold.
I know. But what are you going to do? The kitchen shut down.
Yeah,
you cater it.
I
Look,
did see
let me say this: only like for $100 more, you can get like the Moe's will come and cater your shit. They'll show up with a truckload of their food with like those little fuel burners underneath it.
What's Moe's?
In big tins. It's burritos.
like burritos.
Yeah, like or any restaurant really. Like lots of places will. Like
TJ
Popeye's chicken.
Any restaurant in the country, there are restaurants that have we will not cater. Even if you hold a gun to our head, if the president's like, "Hey, we need a lot of sandwiches," you're gonna be like, "Yeah,
You're probably right. Yeah,
of course,
yes,
so,
yeah."
we'd love a little bit.
Like so, it just feels like what the fuck? Like at the car dealership I worked at, we were able to get this done. Okay, every Saturday, Popeyes came in. They had they had a big tray of rice and a big tray of chicken and a big tray of mashed potatoes. Like we got just multiply that by 10 and you're good, right? There's 25 of us, probably. 125
the only
people.
funnier thing he could have done is if it was all Chick-fil-A. Like that.
Oh wait, was it a Sunday? Why do I have it in my head that it was a Sunday?
Oh, that would
could
be
wrong.
so funny.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A won't stay open for the president.
Yeah. Anyway, there. Like I said, there's reasons to fuss about Trump, but this is not one of them. This was just him making it happen. So they made it happen. Good for them. I hope they enjoyed their trip.
With his hands up, like check out all these burgers, and it shows all these burgers, and you just know like the White House kitchen staff. Like I saw a tweet joking about this, where he's like, "Yeah, I want you to put the sweet and sour sauce in there." They're like, "Put them in the Lincoln Memorial gravy boats." Yeah, the ones that have been around since 1861. Yeah, he doesn't want him. He doesn't need him anymore. He's dead. He was shot.
I like presidents who aren't assassinated.
That's a good line, Kyle.
That was good.
Kennedy, Lincoln, bitches.
Are there more, Grover?
Yeah. Who's the one who got shot? And during the speech, and he was like, "Ow, get him." All right, now let me finish this speech.
That was Teddy Roosevelt.
I thought so too, but it was probably because he was so fat, right? He just absorbed the bullet. It was one of them old-timey guns too.
That might actually be a thing. Have you seen the video of Joe Lozon hitting? I think the guy's name is Lonzo, but his friend is big. So Joe Lozon's just ripping body shots, and you could tell he's hitting with all the might Joe has, which is a lot. And I don't want to get too into it, but the way a real fighter rotates their shoulder and puts their body into it is very different than the arm punches that like you and I would do. So, and he's just killing the guy, and he's holding his hands up like this, letting him hit him with no effect.
Is he a huge guy or about Joe's size?
Oh, he's much bigger than Joe, and he's heavy.
220, 5'10", maybe.
I would have called him 6 foot 250.
Okay, but he's not just some big fat guy who's
he's
like
not the blob, This
him.
isn't that Wolverine scene.
He's a thick, strong man who's skilled.
Is there a video of him?
There is. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I love this picture of Trump, though. Not to escape that. Like there's so much gold in that photograph. Look how much gold there is. Everything is gold.
He can't take credit for that gold. That gold's been there.
Yeah, but they decorate. Like whoever's the president, they're like, I want this and that and this and that. The rugs, the drapery, all that shit's on them. I remember when
really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I remember when Bush came in. Like it's always different. Like the Oval Office is always different. The desk is different. The rug's different. The curtains are different.
I never figured the actual politicians cared that much. I figured it was just some like interior decorator.
No, it's a big
person who showed
it's a
up.
big decision.
lot of
I think the
times
first
the,
lady often has a lot to do with it.
Oh,
I was going to
yeah.
say the same thing. That's like one of their things. And if I'm first lady, I'm like, I think they might be in charge of it, but they have professional help because I'd be like, dude, I don't know. I don't know what to do with like decorate the White House. Everyone's going to judge. I
Don't
would,
know. I don't know how many more times I can go to Home Depot. They're running out of light. And I'm so scared on the ladder alone. She's out there.
dude, I found the video we're
You're an
talking
immigrant,
about,
Melania.
and it's 46 seconds long. I think we can just watch the whole thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
God, Joe's beaten up in this video. His eyes.
He's great. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
All right, so this is Lorenzo. He trains at my gym, and we're talking about how he's got a little bit of body armor here. So I'm gonna try to blast through it with a hook. I probably can't, but we'll see. Hey.
You get lower and more in front, Joe. You need to get his liver.
God.
Look at this.
His liver.
Look how hard he's
Right in the
hitting.
liver.
He's trying so hard. He bats his head.
Take a fucking knife.
Look at him. He's hitting the same spot over and over.
He's red faced. He's red faced from the exertion of beating this man.
You're-
No offense.
he was. I really like how hard he was trying. Like that was my favorite part. Joe was not like, let's pretend I can't hit him hard. But yeah, he was.
How do you work out that muscle? The muscle that lets you just get pounded in the ribs and liver.
It takes a lot of
professional
KFC.
fighter. It must. I wonder how much fat. I mean, it must be a known fact. Like fat helps you cushion the blow of punches. Maybe like spread the impact area about like.
You'd
a
think
bit
so,
more.
right?
It
Yeah.
decelerates it. It has to. Absolutely. And you having more mass means you're going to be, moved less as well.
I'm
At
trying
some
to process
point, there's
if
too
that
much.
helps you or not, right? Because like for example, if you were to hit me in the jaw and I was still, it would hurt a lot. If I was rolling away from it, then it would lighten your blow. But I could make the other argument too, where you're so solid. I don't know.
Because some of them like stay kind of. I know they're not fat. They are fat, but they're not like out of shape fat. But people like Big Country Nelson, like he always looks like a big fat fuck when he goes into the ambling into the ring. But
When
his
Kyle,
his thing is being known to be able to get the shit kicked out of him and not get knocked out.
he
Right?
has a very good chin. Yeah. When Kyle saw him the first time, he instantly liked that guy. He was like, "No
Love it.
way, that guy!" And then his name's Big Country, and I think he won his fight too. And it was like,
Yeah,
"Oh my
it's like
God."
when you play Street Fighter and there's the one like fat drunk guy who just like stumbles around but somehow
Is
like
effective.
beats up. Yeah, is effective. Like that's him. I think he's in Bellator now. I think he's headlining a card coming up.
I saw an article on Joe Lozon and the career, like where he feels about he is, and so he said in public a lot of the things that we've talked about in private, and I was like, cool. Now I can talk about it in public, right? Like if he's talking to and basically like he was in a lot of his losses before things didn't go his way, and he feels like he's got a couple more in him, and he's going to get in shape and see if he tries it or not. Like so, he's 34, and he's like, what I don't want to be is 39. Wishing I had given it one more go, So, I said those numbers right. So, that's where he is. He's going to get in shape, see how he stands. He has a lot of top guys come to his gym that he does well against, right? Donald Cerrone, for example, came to the gym. And Joe's like, if I'm right there with Cerrone, then why shouldn't I be fighting? He's like, but I'm not kidding myself. I lost some fights. So, the score is posted. He's like, so he's going to see, it's going to decide whether or not he should do some more or not.
Yeah, I'd love to watch.
He's a year older than Joe.
Is he?
Yeah,
Cerrone's
I love
doing
watching Joe fight.
strong, though.
I feel like I've got a little bit more skin in the game when he fights because I care
Yes.
about Joe, and it's far from me to critique Joe. So I just won't. I want to see Joe fight and win, and I hope that happens.
I think I'm on the same page as you, but I'd go even I just want to see him happy, whatever that takes. If
Yeah,
that means
that's
that
it.
his own gym is thriving and he just, he's raising his two boys to be the next generation of murderers, then ring murderers. Let's get this straight. Then do that. Whatever makes. I just want Joe to have his best life. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. There's a few good cards coming up, but nothing like immediately.
oh no,
Askren and Lawler is still a month or two away.
I think there's some great cards coming up. Am I crazy? I was looking at it, I was like, wow, the next 3 months are packed. But now UFC changed their website in a way that makes it harder for me to figure out what's up. So Cejudo Dillashaw is this weekend. Whitaker Gastelum. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm not good at the new website. When you start looking at the fights, you lose the date. February 9th is a decent one. 17th. I don't want to. I can't scan it on the show like I used to be able to. But
I watched. Oh, go ahead.
No, you please.
Yeah, I was watching this Netflix show called Magic for Humans. It's like a David Blaine style show, but it's like funnier and like it's like family friendly for the most part. The last episode is not family friendly at all. Like it really took a turn and got much dirtier for that one. Not like it's truly raunchy or anything, especially compared to the fucking show we run here. But it's genuinely good. I usually don't like those magic illusion shows, and like this is really truly impressive. Like it's frustrating when you can tell that it's obviously kind of scripted and the people are in on it, but as long as you kind of suspend the disbelief and just enjoy it. And it gave me an idea for a show called Black Magic. And it's a street magician show where they only approach black people.
This is the I don't even want to get close to his name. This is the Parks and Recs dude thing, right?
Yeah, Aziz Ansari.
Aziz
Yep.
Ansari.
Oh, that's a known thing. He didn't come up with that joke either. Like that's been a
Right.
joke for a long time. The like Black Magic. Think of how good of a show that would be.
That'd be super
All
funny.
those, no more would they be showing a really impressive trick to some like Cambodian immigrant who's like, "Why? I have work to do." They trying to get by. Like, no, you'll have people like really genuinely enjoying the tricks. So Netflix, you're handing out things to everybody now. I'd like that.
I've been watching. Have you seen the Netflix special Sex Education?
Is it a fun? Is this like a documentary or a funny show or?
No. It's kind of funny. It may be drama, and I enjoyed it. I got kind of addicted to it. Like I didn't intend to binge watch it, and then I find myself like messing up my sleep schedule. So it was good enough to do that for me. But I always feel dirty. So the kids are call them 17, right? And the guy's mom is a sex therapist. But not like one that has sex with people, one that just like a shrink kind of thing. And then in his high school, he becomes a shrink, giving sex advice to the other kids. And
That's
this
how
kind
you
of
get a well-adjusted normal child.
yeah,
Yeah.
So and then the different kids have like different hang-ups, and he works them out with them. And there are some sex scenes, and it is like it messes with my head. I'm trying to draw. I'm 45. Somehow, if I can watch like double penetration, wife swapping MILF porn and think, well, this is age appropriate for me. But a 17-year-old gets head off camera and I'm like, Woody, this is bad. This is wrong. Like, you know, stop prying on these children having sex. This is inappropriate. And those thoughts like pop into my head as I try to watch this show. But I enjoyed the show. It was I got caught up in the whole storyline and rooted for the characters. And Sex Education, a better than average Netflix show.
But maybe a little dirty.
Yeah, it's not one you watch like if you're young with your parents in the room or something. Because I think in the opening 2 minutes or so, this girl's riding this dude. Do you like my tits? Whatever. And I'm like, yeah, thumbs up.
Oh, there's nudity in it?
Yes, I want to say. Not full frontal, but definitely boobs. And something about like there's boobs when a girl's in the closet picking out her clothes. And then there's boobs when she's straddled over a guy who's also apparently naked. It's the second.
Okay. So it's not casual boobing.
No, it's just a hair below Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I saw a preview for that on Netflix. I haven't been watching much TV, obviously. I've been playing this.
I haven't been watching much TV. I haven't been eating or sleeping.
I've been sick. I've been doing nothing but that.
I bought a new bottle of vodka. I got some Ciroc vodka. It's made from grapes instead of corn or potatoes. I've been.
Is it clear?
Really?
It's clear. Yeah.
I didn't even know they could make vodka out of grapes.
I'm probably wrong about this, but I think the way vodka works is they just keep refining it, keep filtering it until any color's out. Like you probably make vodka out of agave, which is what tequila's made out of. If you just kept on filtering it.
What is that? Agave?
Agave.
Yeah.
It's like a cactus.
Oh,
That's what tequila's made of.
I had
the
no
good
idea.
Tequila's made of it. Like Jose Cuervo is not real tequila though. It's like 51% agave and 49% low
Grain
grade
alcohol, yeah.
grain alcohol. Yeah, that's why people get sick and headaches and violent when they drink Jose Cuervo. They're like, yeah, tequila makes me crazy. It's like, you're not drinking tequila. You're drinking Jose Cuervo. Get some real fucking tequila.
Everclear is so goddamn cheap here.
Yeah, Everclear is scary.
It's like
Everclear is-
$11 for a fifth of it. Like it's cheaper than vodka in our.
What's
grocery
the alcohol percentage on that? I know Bacardi.
95%. It's 180 proof. Or
That's 190 proof.
it's 190 proof. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's no way to
outrageous.
calculate that.
Well,
Yeah, there's no way to calculate it.
So I was with a guy who was very charming, and somehow I got myself in the situation of having to figure out 14 times 800, and that was what he gave me. That was the out. He's like, "There's no way to calculate that." Just go with it. Because he could just see me like, all right, carry the 3, and he's like, "Ah, there's no way." He's like, "All right, thank
Do you
you."
ever get 20 seconds into a mental math problem around somebody else, and you realize you did something wrong earlier, and you're like, I'm in too deep on the time. Like if I go for a calculator, I'll look foolish, and if I restart right now my process, it'll take me a minute, and then I'll appear foolish for not using the calculator in the first place because I've revealed I'm too dumb for minute math.
This guy had a very high EQ, and I think it was even one of those where I was like, "Oh, did I make it?" I know 14 times 800 is not the toughest, but he let me off the hook with it, and it was like, "Oh, I'm going to reuse that."
Yeah, that's impossible. Don't blame yourself.
Yes.
That's why we invented computers. Do you remember minute math? Was that a thing you guys had to do, like a quiz in grade school?
Definitely heard of it. I don't recall if I did it or if it was a kid
40
thing.
questions in a minute, and it was 5
Oh.
times 4, 6 times 8, 11 minus 9, just a bunch of simple, 12 divided by 3, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was there was never a bigger confidence boost throughout school than when they're like minute math, and you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna finish. I know all of this math, and everybody else finished too. But I loved the
Not
morale
everybody,
boost I got.
Taylor. No, I was in my school. There were a couple. So what would happen is they'd give you the test, and if you did well, they'd give you the next one, right? So the first ones might be 2 + 3, 9 + 2, 1 + 3. And if you do that, then you get subtraction. If you do that, then you get multiplication, then division. And then they start fucking with you. 2 + 3, 3 times 2. Oh, wait, shit, they're different. They're changing up the symbols. And then they bring in 1-digit times
this was
2
11th grade.
this passes for a master's at state schools.
This equal sign has a dot above and below it.
You know, Woody, you're always bragging about this whole working your way through school thing, but I'm starting to lose all respect now that I hear about the class load, the workload.
No,
I remember I sat next to this kid.
this might have been the
English
teacher that
class.
thought I was retarded. This could have been second grade.
Why do you tell those stories?
Oh yeah. It could have been Mrs.
Teacher who
Fields.
thought you were retarded.
Oh yeah, I wanted to retell the story super fast for people who don't know it, but
Oh, tell it slow, or you won't.
I'm in 11th grade,
Slow.
and we had report cards every quarter, so there's 4 of those, and then every 8th, that we had something, we'd have deficiency reports,
Progress.
and people who are good students, wouldn't get anything in the middle of the quarter. But people who were bad students like me, the teachers would be like, this kid's in danger of not doing well in this class. My parents got some sort of negative feedback on my school 8 times a year, every 8th of a school year for 11 years. And I was like, what about Mrs. Fields? I did great in second grade. And she's like, she thought you were retarded.
What about the one thing to hang your hat on? But I put this to you, Mom.
We
Mrs.
fought to keep
Fields.
you out of the special needs classes in second grade.
Dude, there was a kid I sat next to in English in high school. I don't remember exactly what grade, but he wasn't retarded. I've never seen a kid who cared less about school, like actively, not even like, fuck this. I'm not like, he'd actively sabotage himself. Like it seemed like, I don't know what that was indicative of at home, but that's how he did. And he sat next to me in English because, we would make jokes together and laugh. And I was always good at English, and we always had vocab tests, and I kicked ass at vocab. And he got so many like zeros with vocabs because he would intentionally like put the wrong thing in that like halfway through the year she started giving him the special needs version of the vocab test because she desperately wanted him to pass. Like desperately. This is the same kid I've mentioned. This is the same kid I've mentioned before that at our middle school, they were handing out diplomas for everyone for middle school graduation. And we were all laughing in the hallway afterwards because all ours said like, congratulations for completing middle school. And his said, thank you for participating. And they let him like through anyway. And I would cheat for him. I would cheat for him every single week on vocab. Like he would go out of his way to not learn new words. Like I'd sit next to him and like he used to put it down. And this was the most overt I ever cheated. And the teacher loved me, so she probably saw it and like didn't care. Like initially, I'd sit there with my normal
wanted him to pass too.
Vocab quiz. Yeah, she wanted.
You guys were on the same team. You and the teacher.
He was a fucking rabble rouser, and he would be like, "What's altercation mean?" I'm like, it means like you get in a fight, you get in a a verbal spat, a kind of an intense problem between you or whatever it was. And then it got to the point eventually where he was too lazy to write down what I told him to write down. And so the teacher would put down his quiz, then put down my quiz, and he would, while she was still like handing it to the person next to me, he would push his quiz over to my side of the desk. I would take it real quick, give it to him, and then take my own. And he'd be like, after like every like Friday when we got him back, he'd be like, Taylor, another 100. I'm like, that's fantastic, man. I'm really happy for you. I hope you make it out of this grade.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that never registered with me. Like people who couldn't even do like high school was so fucking easy.
Dude,
like,
I was that
bare
guy.
Minimum.
I had a chemistry exam in I think it was 11th grade. And I had done poorly all year, but it was at the level where if I did well enough on the final, I'd pass for the year. And if I didn't, and by the way, I'm smart. Like I've done other things that would imply I could pull this off. And what happened was it has 132 multiple choice questions. 132 questions, and I'd have passed it for the whole year. And somehow I saw it, deemed it unfucking reasonable to ask that many questions. I answered them all B, and I turned it in less than 2 minutes and failed.
Why? So in your head, you were like, over 100 questions? Who do they think I am? Copernicus? B, 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 B.
I don't even know why I answered them all. What difference did it make? But I'd seen something that B was the most common answer if it only goes to D or something. And I was like, it's straight B's, handed it in, and I was in my head. I don't know. I do remember thinking because when you finish your final, you were sort of out. I'm like, I'm finished school like 10 a.m. This is fantastic. Like, meanwhile, I'm taking the whole thing next year. Yeah, but. Yeah.
Did you guys ever get like conscripted into helping with the Scantron machines?
No.
Woody probably didn't, but like the Scantron machines where you fill all that shit in and then you
we
insert
had them too.
it. Yeah, every once in a while you'd have one of those and like the teacher would be too busy and they'd be like, "Hey, just go feed this pile of Scantrons and then bring them back to me in the machine." And you could tell, like I'd look at it and I'd be like, "Oh, the Indian kid in our grade, he's really fucking smart." You put that one through, whoosh, silence. You put another one up, and you're like, "Oh, this kid's retarded. I can't wait." And you put it in, and you just hear all of the questions that got wrong, and that was funny.
Oh no, I've never. Did you guys have? I don't know if this is a thing that doesn't exist in school anymore, but we had incompetent photocopiers in my school. Like there'd be classroom handouts, and they're crooked, and some of the words are cut off. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you that you thought this was okay? How low are your quality standards that you're handing out these things and kids can't read them?
Occasionally that would definitely happen.
You're off by 20 degrees. That wasn't like how did that slip through quality control?
Yeah, it would be those things where you get a piece of paper like, all right, I've got handouts for the class. And it's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with like half the page covered with very faint poetry. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So you guys want to call it?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So anyway, PKN episode 230. Good times.
Awesome.